I just got my filthy paws on this Bluey How to Draw art book for $5. And I'm going to be following a bunch of these step-by-step guides on how to draw Bluey characters like a good little boy. And then I'm going to draw my own twisted horror version as a comparison. But first, I've got to fill in this page. And now is probably a good time to mention this video is not made for kids. If you're easily scared of gory drawings and also a trypophobia one, don't watch this video. Go watch something else. Because in this video, I'm going to be showcasing the difference between good, wholesome art and then the horrific abominations that a horror artist creates, twisting and corrupting beloved Bluey characters. Bluey is a famous Australian kids show, and I am a not so famous Australian artist. Like and subscribe, maybe we can change that. Anyway, the point is, from one Australian artist to the Australian creators behind Bluey, I hope you enjoy this video, if you happen to see it. On second thought, maybe it's better if you don't see it. I'm going to start this out by following the step-by-step tutorial on how to draw Bluey. Let's do this! Starting out by drawing a basic rectangle, adding legs, ears, eyes and snout, and don't forget a mouth to shout. Alright, I'll stop with the rhymes. I've got an embarrassing confession to make. I unironically find these how to draw tutorials kind of hard to follow. Not that it's complicated, but I always seem to get the proportions wrong because you do each step by step and you don't realize you've done the eyes too small or the body a wrong shape until it's too late. But hey, I gave it a shot and I ended up with this slightly jank Bluey. Damn. Now it's time for redemption. Before you unsubscribe and think to yourself, wait a second, Jordan actually kind of sucks at drawing. He can't even follow a kid's step-by-step guide on how to draw Bluey without it turning out like a cheap knockoff that looked like it got dropped on its head. That was oddly specific. Moving on, I'm drawing a twisted version of Bluey. If you're a Five Nights at Freddy's fan, you may be aware of the FNAF graphic novel called The Twisted Ones, and this transformation is inspired by Twisted Bonnie. I tried to create a juxtaposition between the clean, cute cartoon style of Bluey and the visceral gore of torn flesh and sharp teeth. I think it's really fun combining two different styles for an artwork like this, and it creates something really interesting and unsettling to look at. Horror often toys with that idea. It's taking something familiar and comforting and corrupting it into something that shouldn't be. You see it all the time in horror media, and to be fair, sometimes it's overdone, but for this drawing, I had a lot of fun. Now I'm gonna add some blood and gore, which seemed fitting considering the ripped flesh and sharp teeth. You don't have sharp teeth for no reason. When it's feeding time, there will be blood. After adding some highlights with my Signo white gel pen, I'm ready to call this transformation done. Be sure to stick around till the end of the video to see all of the transformations and let me know which is your favourite one. Here's the comparison between tutorial Bluey and my twisted version. Now I'll be following the step-by-step guide on how to draw Pom Pom. This one is a lot easier. It's basically just a circle with eyes. Even I can do that. I've intentionally done some patchy line work to kind of soften it a little bit. You'll notice there's some breaks and I've added some little dots. It's just a style choice. It kind of takes away from the harshness of having solid black outlines. And after some minimal colouring with my Copics, Pom Pom is done. Now it's time for my horror version. And I've got the perfect idea. Inspired by Pom Pom's big eyes, I wanted to create a horror abomination that stares into your soul. For this drawing, I used softer line work to place more focus on the Copic rendering. I've given Pom Pom some scaly legs with some disgustingly long nails, which are grossing me out, but so far I'm liking how this drawing is coming along. After applying the base layers with my Copics, I'm going to build on top of that with my Prismacolor pencils to give it more of a 3D effect and add more contrast and texture. This minimal line work approach is different from what I usually do, so I'm curious what you guys think of it. Do you like it, and should I implement it more in future videos? Or should I never do it again and quit drawing? Maybe I'm making the world a worse place by bringing these abominations into existence. And this is where I could make a joke about your parents, but I won't do that. That was uncalled for. I'm just gonna shut up and finish this drawing. Adding the final highlights to appease my OCD. I've gone through so many of these white highlight pens, I've got a whole drawer of them ready to go for when they run out. I use them all the time, in case you haven't noticed. Anyway, transformation complete. What do you think of the comparison? Up next, I'll be following the tutorial of how to draw Chloe, a spotty Dalmatian. I'm using the broken line work technique again for some added style, and after erasing the sketch underneath, I'll finish off by colouring. Not much to say here, just added some black and white, and just like that, Chloe is done. Proportions are a bit off, but hey, what can you do? Quick warning, if you have trypophobia, skip this transformation. I'm about to go Swiss cheese mode, and if little holes make you uncomfortable, you might not want to stick around for this one. The key to an effective trypophobia drawing, in my opinion, is making the holes look like they have depth. It's a time-consuming process, but I think the final result is worth it. The illusion of depth really starts to come into place when you start adding the shadows into the holes. It's oddly satisfying watching this horrific artwork take shape. Is there something wrong with me? Probably. I added some blood splatter to this artwork to bring in some much needed colour. The vibrancy of the red makes the artwork stand out a bit more, plus any excuse to draw blood I'm gonna take. And here is the comparison between cartoon Chloe and this horrific Swiss cheese abomination. Welcome back to all those who had to skip that trypophobia drawing. It's okay, you're in a safe space now. Way to make that sound really creepy. Join me as I follow the last tutorial of this video, learning how to draw bingo. Step by step I followed this book, and still my proportions are wrong. I guess I've got some learning to do. For this last transformation, I want to finish strong and showcase what happens when a horror artist spends way too much time transforming an innocent Bluey character. It's no secret that I love drawing FNAF-inspired animatronics, and for this crossover I couldn't help but get inspiration from Foxy. I'm adding lots of little details with my Copic multiliner, keeping things somewhat loose and rough to add some character to this decaying animatronic. I'm thickening some of the outlines to give a bit more weight to it and help certain parts stand out from others. It comes down to style preference. If you prefer more of a realistic look, you probably wouldn't do this, but in this case I thought it'd look good. Also, I upload my line work scans to my Patreon, so having some nice line work drawings is always a plus. Shout out to all my awesome patrons for supporting the channel. I added an ominous pink glow coming from Bingo's broken eye, channeling some Terminator vibes, mainly because I love adding some fluoro pink highlights, which also goes nicely with some light purple shading. I'm trying my hardest to restrain myself and not add too much blood, seeing as there's already so much grime going on with this artwork. It would risk looking too over the top and muddied if I went with the usual amount of blood I splatter over my artworks. I guess I'll save some ink in my red marker today. My white gel pen, on the other hand, that's getting run dry. I really can't help myself. Congratulations for surviving another horror art video. Here is the final comparison. Thank you so much to my amazing patrons for supporting this channel and enabling me to make creepy horror art videos like this one. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.